All right, number 7 says solve the inequality below. Okay, 4x minus 8 greater than or equal to negative 12. Okay, remember our goal is to get x by itself right here. So the first thing I'm going to get rid of is this minus 8. So I'm going to do the inverse of subtraction, which is addition. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. This one goes away. Bring down my 4x. Bring down my symbol. Just bring it straight down. And then I have negative 12 plus positive 8. Remember that when we have adding with different signs, we go off to the side and subtract. So 12 minus 8 is 4, and then it takes the sign of the larger, so it's a negative 4. Okay? Then, to get x by itself, I'm going to divide by positive 4. Remember, we do not flip the sign if it's a positive. We only flip if it's a negative. So a negative divided by a positive is going to be a negative. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So the answer was x greater than or equal to negative 1. About 3 people got this right. All right, flip it over. Number 8. What is the unknown length in similar triangles ABC and DEF? Okay, here's my unknown length, B. Remember, my unknown length figure is my y figure, and then my figure that I have all the sides is x. So my goal is to find y over x. I got to find that k. Remember, k equals y over x, and then y equals kx. Okay? So my y over x, let's go ahead. This one goes with that one. 32 goes with 4, and then 64 goes with 8. So I'm just going to use 64 over 8. Oh, just kidding. Y over x. So 8 over 64. That's all. You only need one case. I don't need to use 32 over 4. Okay, now I'm going to reduce. I can divide by 8. Get 1/8. So this right here is my scale factor, or my k. Okay? Now I'm going to plug it in. This b right here is on my y figure, so that's going there. So b is going to be equal to my k, 1/8, times my x, which is 88. Multiplying fractions, that's no problem. Top times top, bottom times bottom. So 88 over 8. And then 88 divided by 8 is 11. So the missing side length was 11. All right, number 9. A new hard drive costs $225 plus $40 per hour for labor. The linear equation y equals 40x plus 225 gives the cost, y, in dollars for x hours of labor. If Jane has $385 to spend on the computer repairs, what is the maximum number of hours the computer technician can work? A lot of y'all on your test made this way more complicated than it needs to be. I have y equals 40x plus 225. All they did, they gave you the equation that represented that sentence right there, okay? If she has $385, that's the cost. So you're just going to plug it in for y. Since y represents my cost. And then x stands for the hours, so now just solve for x. So my first step, remove the 225 by doing the inverse, and the inverse of addition is subtraction. Going to bring down my 40x, subtract, okay, and then divide by 40. It's just 4. 4 times 40 is 160, so 4 hours. All right, number 10. Write an equation that can be used to find the value of x in the triangle below. The big thing everybody missed, write an equation. Did not need to solve. I know triangles all add up to 180 degrees. Well, remember, an equation has an equal sign. Equation has an equal sign. Okay, so it's going to equal 180. but I'm going to add up all the angles to get 180. So 25x plus 11x plus 9x. Okay, that could have been your answer. That's it. Now, some of y'all went a step further and added these three numbers. So 25 plus 11 is 36. 36 plus 9 is 45x, okay? So I also would have accepted 45x equals 180. I had some people solve, and you get x equals 4 when you divide by 45. I did not accept this without the equation because it does ask for an equation, okay? Because I saw some of y'all put x equals 4, but I didn't see any equation. All right. Number 11. Matthew and Ethan were flying paper airplanes. Matthew's airplane flew 36.5 centimeters, and Ethan's airplane flew 18 centimeters. How many inches farther did Matthew's airplane fly than Ethan's? Okay, could have done this a couple of different ways. I know Matthew's flew 36.5. and Ethan's flew 18. But notice I want inches. So I'm going to have to do dimensional analysis. So I'm going to do Matthew and I'm going to do Ethan. Or you could subtract first and then do it. But I'm going to do the dimensional analysis for both. So Matthew flew 36.5 centimeters. Remember, put what we're looking for on top. So I know Matthew, I'm going to put 0.4 inches is 1 centimeter, and I know he flew 36.5 centimeters. Okay, so now you just multiply across. My units cancel, so I'm going to do 36.5 times 0.4 because that's going to give me inches for Matthew. 4 times 5 is 20, 4 times 6 is 24, plus 2 is 26. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. One number behind the decimal, one number behind the decimal, so 2 total. So 14 and 6/10, okay? Inches, okay? These were the centimeters. So Matthew's inches. So for Ethan, I'm still going to use the same scale, 0.4 inches over 1 centimeter, okay? And I know he flew 18 centimeters. Okay, units cancel. Get my inches. I'm going to do 18 times 0.4. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. 0 numbers behind the decimal here, 1 here, so 1 total. 7.2. So Ethan's flew 7 2/10. I gave you credit for getting these two numbers. But look what it says. How many inches farther? So now I just need to subtract. So 7 4/10 inches. Okay? All right. Sally deposited $4,000 into a savings account that earns 3.5% interest compounded annually. How much interest will she earn after 3 years? Okay. This is another one where you can use the table. If it's annually or compounded, then you can use the table. So if Sally deposited $4,000 on year 1, her starting balance is $4,000. Her interest rate is 3.5. Remember, when we're multiplying it, though, we have to move it over twice to the left. So the principal is going to be 4,000 times 0.035, and remember our time is always 1 with compound, okay? So I'm going to get my handy dandy calculator. They earned $140. Okay, now to get my ending balance, remember you just add that on top, 4,140. Now for year 2, that's going to be my starting balance. So that's going to be my principal here, times the interest rate, 0.035 times the time is 1. So 4,140 times 0.035, you get $144.80. $4,144.90. Okay, you're going to add that to the 4,140. You get $4,284.90. Okay, now that's your starting balance for year 3. Okay, so that's going to be your principal. So that's my principal. You do it times the rate, times the time, 1 year, and you get $144.97. Okay, now for this question, all it asked was how much interest will she earn. So I'm just going to add these 3 numbers up. 140 plus 144.9 plus 144.97. You get $429.87. So that's the answer for that one. Now, I saw a bunch of you adding these numbers up. I just saw a bunch of rando stuff. So make sure if you see compound interest, you use the chart, okay?